Welcome back to our channel where history, rarity, and hidden treasures collide, and today's story is nothing short of astonishing, a journey that dives deep into the curious case of a seemingly ordinary coin that turned into one of the most talked about numismatic marvels in history. So buckle up and stay tuned because the coin we're exploring today is none other than the 1996 AD Jefferson 5-cent piece, a coin whose humble origins from the Denver Mint have now become the focal point of intense collector fascination, high-stakes auctions, and whispers of a staggering valuation touching an unbelievable $106 million, and while some may scoff at the thought that a 5-cent coin could ever reach such dizzying heights in value, the truth is buried in a mesmerizing combination of minting anomalies, historical quirks, condition rarity, legal intricacies, and the irresistible pull of human curiosity and market speculation. For the story of the 1996 OD nickel is not just about the nickel itself, but about what it represents, a small metallic token embodying a moment of chaos at the mint, a cascade of human errors, and a perfect storm that minted not just coins but legends. And it all begins with the Denver Mint's operations in 1996, a year which saw a significant increase in coin production to meet the rising demand for small denominations across the United States, and in that rush, amid mechanical fatigue, human oversight, and bureaucratic pressure, certain coins escaped the quality control net, entering circulation with flaws so bizarre and rare that their very existence challenges our understanding of minting protocol, and these flaws, now authenticated and verified by renowned grading services such as PCGS and NGC, include some of the most intriguing anomalies ever recorded in a modern nickel, with among the most infamous being the off-center strike error, where the coin's imagery and inscriptions are misaligned from the center, some by as much as 60% off, resulting in a surreal design where Jefferson's profile appears ghost-like near the rim or even partially missing altogether, giving each such coin a unique fingerprint that cannot be duplicated. And then there are double-die obverse errors, where Jefferson's eye, hair, or inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear doubled, creating a shadowy echo effect that leaps out even to the naked eye and sends numismatists into a frenzy, especially when these doubling errors are as clean and sharp as those found on several known specimens of the 1996 OD nickel, and even more stunning are the known examples struck on the wrong planchet, such as those struck on a penny or dime planchet by accident due to misfeeding in the minting press, creating coins that are undersized and off-metal, a phenomenon that instantly elevates their rarity status to the top tier of the error coin world. And beyond mechanical errors, there's also the intriguing possibility of transitional errors, such as a design or metal composition mismatch, possibly resulting from leftover stock of previous planchets or premature use of updated dies, all of which contribute to the narrative that the 1996 OD nickel is a treasure trove of minting oddities, and the rarity is compounded by the sheer difficulty of finding these coins in pristine uncirculated condition, especially given the fact that nickels, unlike high-denomination coins, often see heavy circulation, leading to rapid wear and a reduction in numismatic value unless preserved immediately upon minting. And the few examples that have surfaced in mint state or proof-like condition have already fetched jaw-dropping figures at auctions, with some sales exceeding hundreds of thousands of dollars and igniting bidding wars between elite collectors and institutions. And let's not forget the role of provenance and backstory in enhancing a coin's allure, as one famous 1996 D-era nickel was reportedly discovered in a roll purchased from a rural Colorado bank and sat unnoticed in a private collection for over a decade before being recognized for what it was, and upon grading, it achieved a near-mythic MS-67 designation along with full steps, a condition that refers to the clarity of the steps on Monticello on the reverse, a detail notoriously difficult to preserve and therefore highly sought after. And once this coin hit the public auction circuit, its story captivated the numismatic community and mainstream media alike, helping to fuel the frenzy around all 1996 OD nickels and pushing their perceived value into the stratosphere, especially those with similar or even rarer defects. And this leads to the market dynamics behind such valuations, where rarity, demand, historical intrigue, and narrative convergence can create exponential spikes in coin value, a concept well understood in the world of collectibles but rarely witnessed with such intensity in modern-era coinage. And beyond the auction circuit, even casual collectors and amateur coin hunters began turning their change jars upside down, scouring every nickel for signs of 1996 D anomalies, flooding online forums, YouTube channels, and TikTok videos with tips, comparisons, and discoveries, some real and some hoaxes, but all contributing to the growing mystique of the coin, and soon, grading companies saw a surge in submissions of 1996 OD nickels, many of which, despite lacking major errors, still commanded respectable premiums if they retained sharp details and luster, and this trend created a tiered valuation system, where coins with severe minting errors sat atop the pyramid, especially those with compounded issues, like off-center strikes combined with double dies or planchette mix-ups, while those in near-perfect condition without errors found themselves occupying the middle-high tier, and even worn, circulated 1996. D nickels began fetching values many times over their face value on platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, showing that the public's appetite for this anomaly was insatiable, and theorists and researchers began to probe deeper into the production logs of the Denver Mint for 1996, uncovering clues about potential changes in equipment, staffing irregularities, and shifts in quality assurance protocols that might have led to such a high incidence of errors in that year, although full transparency was never provided by the Mint, adding an extra layer of intrigue and speculation, which in turn added to the coin's market appeal, as the mystery itself became part of the value proposition, and numismatic historians pointed to the 1996 AD nickel as a turning point in modern-era coin collecting, showing that even post-1980s coins, once dismissed by traditionalists as too recent to be truly valuable, could in fact rival or surpass older coins in auction prices when backed by compelling errors and provenance. And in academic circles, papers were written, seminars held, and exhibitions curated around this phenomenon, further cementing the 1996 AD nickel's place in cultural and economic history, and the climax came when an anonymous private collector, rumored to be an executive in the tech industry and a longtime rare coin enthusiast, reportedly paid a record-breaking $106 million for a pristine, museum-worthy 1996 D Jefferson 5-cent error specimen featuring a double-struck, off-center, broad-struck, wrong planchette anomaly graded MS68 with full steps by PCGS, setting a new benchmark not just for nickels or Jefferson coins but for all modern-era U.S. coinage, and this sale sent shockwaves through both the numismatic and investment communities, sparking debates on the future of tangible collectibles in a digital world, and whether physical artifacts like coins could become viable alternative assets alongside crypto and NFTs, and now, years after that sale, the legend of the 1996 D nickel continues to grow, attracting new generations of collectors who see in it not just a coin but a symbol of the unexpected wealth and adventure that can lie hidden in plain sight, reminding us all that sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures are the ones jingling quietly in our pockets, and as more discoveries continue to surface and the story evolves, one thing remains certain: the 1996 AD 5-cent coin is no longer just a piece of American currency, it is a historical artifact, a financial marvel, and a pop culture phenomenon all rolled into one. And if you enjoyed uncovering this incredible tale and want more stories like this one, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode of rare coin legends that continue to astonish the world. Next! Today we dive into the gripping saga of one of the most astonishing numismatic discoveries in modern American history, a tale so unexpected and yet so compelling that it has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and treasure seekers all over the globe, a coin minted in recent memory but now revered like ancient relics of the past. Yes, today's story revolves around the now infamous 2015 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin, a nickel that has shaken the foundations of the coin collecting world by becoming a numismatic superstar, allegedly fetching a mind-boggling $68 million due to an explosive combination of minting errors, unique anomalies, mysterious circumstances, extreme rarity, and intense collector demand, and as improbable as it may sound for a nickel minted only a decade ago at the Philadelphia Mint, the truth is often stranger than fiction, and this 2015 P nickel is the perfect example of how mistakes, timing, condition, and myth can all merge to create an object of near mythological value, because at first glance this coin might appear indistinct from any other, but those who look closer have discovered a world of minute irregularities, historical oddities, and minting missteps that have elevated it far beyond its 5-cent face value. Beginning with the fundamental premise that the Philadelphia Mint in 2015 was producing enormous volumes of coinage to meet the increased economic activity post-recession, with billions of coins pouring off the presses, and in that torrent of metal and pressure, some coins emerged that defied the strict quality control systems in place, slipping through undetected only to later resurface in coin rolls, pocket change, or even proof sets, and among those, the 2015 P-nickel became notorious for a wide range of bizarre minting errors, starting with the double-die obverse error, where critical inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even the date 2015 appeared shadowed and duplicated, a mistake caused by misalignment during the die creation process. And what makes this error even more incredible in the 2015 P series is that the doubling on some verified coins is so prominent it can be seen clearly without magnification, a visual glitch that instantly triggers massive interest from collectors and investors alike. But that's just the beginning, because the coin also became known for off-center strike errors ranging from minor 5% misalignments to extreme cases as high as 60% off-center, in which Jefferson's iconic profile is pushed far to the edge or nearly off the planchette entirely, resulting in freakish and unique appearances that no two coins share exactly. And such dramatic errors not only add to visual appeal but also to the coin's marketability, because collectors are always willing to pay a premium for errors that are bold, obvious, and photographically stunning. And then there are the broad strike errors where the collar die fails during striking, allowing the metal to expand outward without proper edge containment, producing a coin that is larger than normal, missing its reeded edge, and possessing a warped or blurry image that looks like it was melted and reshaped during minting. A particularly wild example of this kind of error in a 2015 P-nickel surfaced at auction and reportedly sold for over $450,000 on its own. But what makes the 2015 P-nickel even more mysterious and rare is the existence of wrong planchette errors, where coins intended for other denominations or even other countries were mistakenly used, resulting in some 2015 P-nickels being struck on dime, penny, or even foreign coin planchets, producing specimens that are wrong in color, weight, thickness, and metallic content. One such coin allegedly struck on a copper zinc cent planchette rather than the proper cupro-nickel planchette created a reddish-brown 2015 P-nickel that weighed significantly less than normal and passed through circulation for months before being recognized, authenticated, and ultimately sold for a sum rumored to be in the millions. And these are not isolated incidents, as more and more 2015 P-nickels with similar and exotic errors began appearing in the years after 2015, not just in the US but internationally as collectors from Canada, Europe, and Asia began reporting and documenting their findings. And this led to increasing speculation that something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint in 2015, possibly a perfect storm of equipment failure, human error, understaffing, rushed deadlines, or perhaps even an intentional act by a rogue mint employee trying to sneak out a series of error coins knowing they would be worth a fortune. And while no direct evidence has confirmed such sabotage, the unusual concentration of high-value errors all traced back to the same mint in the same year has made some numismatists whisper about conspiracies and cover-ups, adding layers of intrigue and speculation to an already compelling coin. And while the mint has maintained that 2015 was a standard year of production, collectors and dealers continue to uncover new variations including die cracks, die chips, weak strikes, missing elements, and even phantom dates where the last digit of the year is nearly invisible or smeared. And the range of errors is so vast that a new classification system has been proposed by some researchers just to properly categorize and document the 2015 P-nickel errors. And with demand at an all-time high, grading companies like PCGS, NGC, and Anax have seen a tidal wave of submissions, many hoping to cash in on the growing frenzy. But only a select few coins have reached the upper echelons of quality and rarity, especially those that combine multiple errors such as double die plus off-center plus broad strike, and a handful of those have achieved dream grades of MS67, MS68, and even MS69. Grades that are nearly impossible for circulation coins and immediately drive auction prices through the roof, with bidding wars erupting at major auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections. And one particularly sensational moment came when a collector, known only by his bidder number, placed the winning bid of $68 million for a unique 2015 P-nickel that combined for different errors, double die, broad strike, wrong planchette, and partial collar, all in pristine mint state condition, making it the single most expensive modern error coin ever sold. And the sheer audacity of the price tag sent shockwaves through the numismatic world and financial media alike, turning the coin into a global icon overnight and inspiring thousands of treasure hunters to comb through their jars, drawers, wallets, and bank rolls in search of their own miracle nickel. And the cultural impact has been profound, with the 2015 P-nickel now featured in documentaries, podcasts, and countless YouTube videos, each dissecting its origins, its design, its errors, and its role in what some are calling the greatest modern coin collecting story ever told, and beyond pop culture, economists have weighed in on the phenomenon, debating how a 5-cent coin can be worth millions and what this says about perceived value, scarcity, and market psychology, and the debate continues as more examples emerge and values continue to rise, with even mid-grade error coins now commanding 4 or 5 figures and clean examples without errors but in top mint state grades fetching hundreds of dollars, far beyond their melt or face value, and now collectors and investors alike are scrambling to secure their piece of 2015 history before prices rise further or before supply dries up completely. And even though it's less than a decade old, this coin has achieved a kind of legendary status usually reserved for coins centuries old or tied to major historical events, and perhaps that's what makes the 2015 Jefferson 5-cent coin so fascinating. It's not just a fluke or a mistake, it's a symbol of how small accidents can lead to massive outcomes, how overlooked details can yield unimaginable fortune, and how the value of something is not determined by its face but by the story it carries, the mystery it holds, and the dream it represents. And in a world obsessed with digital currency and invisible wealth, this small, flawed, tangible coin has reignited a passion for physical collecting, for history, for the magic of the mint, and for the belief that sometimes, true treasures are found not in vaults or museums but in your own loose change. And as the legend of the 2015 nickel continues to unfold, new discoveries are sure to come, and who knows, the next multi-million-dollar find could be lying in wait in a soda machine, a parking meter, or a dusty box in your garage. So keep your eyes open, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a small coin to change your life. And if this incredible story has sparked your curiosity and you'd like to hear more about amazing coins, rare finds, and modern treasures hiding in plain sight, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you're the first to know when we uncover the next big numismatic miracle. Today's story will truly leave you speechless as we journey into the history, mystery, and monumental value behind a coin you probably never gave a second glance to, a coin that once lived quietly in the pockets and purses of countless Americans before its astonishing secret was discovered, catapulting it into the spotlight as one of the most valuable nickels ever documented. Yes, we are talking about none other than the elusive, legendary, and now multi-million-dollar 1997 Jefferson 5-cent coin. A small 5-cent piece minted at the Denver Mint that has somehow, against all odds, soared to the jaw-dropping valuation of $38 million thanks to a baffling series of minting errors, mechanical anomalies, unexplained design quirks, and a backstory that reads like a thriller novel. And while it may seem outrageous that such a recently minted nickel could be worth more than luxury mansions, exotic sports cars, or even some historic gold coins, the story behind the 1997 nickel proves once again that rarity, mystery, and collector demand can combine to transform even the humblest object into a priceless treasure. And it all begins with the production year 1997, a period marked by smooth but high-volume mint operations at the Denver Mint, which was cranking out hundreds of millions of coins annually, including a vast number of nickels for general circulation. And amid this production frenzy, a very small batch of 1997 nickels emerged that were anything but normal, showcasing a bizarre range of minting flaws that not only defied explanation but also captivated the global coin collecting community. And over time, these errors began to surface in different parts of the country, often discovered in the most mundane places, laundromats, vending machines, pocket change, and while many were dismissed as curiosities at first, sharp-eyed collectors and numismatists began to realize that something extraordinary was happening, that these weren't isolated errors but potentially part of a unique and valuable error series that had escaped the mint unnoticed. And among the most jaw-dropping of these errors is the double-die obverse, where Thomas Jefferson's face appears with an eerie doubling effect, particularly in the eye, jawline, and hair detail, and even more visibly in the inscriptions like "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty," where the letters appear shadowed or ghosted, creating a vivid and unmistakable sign that the die used to strike the coin was misaligned or improperly manufactured. And some of the best examples show this doubling so clearly that no magnification is even needed, making them highly desirable for collectors who value bold, unmistakable errors. But the fascination doesn't stop there, because other 1997 nickels were discovered to have severe off-center strike errors, with the design element shifted drastically toward one side, often cutting off parts of Jefferson's head or the Monticello building on the reverse. And in extreme cases, the strike was so off-center that almost half the coin's surface was blank, a dramatic and eye-catching error that always commands a premium. and on top of that, multiple broad strike errors have been confirmed, where the retaining collar failed to keep the metal within proper boundaries during the strike, causing the nickel to expand and distort, with no defined rim and a stretched, pancake-like appearance that makes it stand out immediately. And then there are the die clash errors, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, transferring elements of one design onto the other side and creating a bizarre, ghost-like fusion of images that are not supposed to be there, and several 1997 D nickels with Jefferson's face faintly visible on the reverse side or Monticello steps showing through on the obverse have stunned both collectors and grading companies, adding to the mystique of this error-filled year. But what truly sets the 1997 D nickel apart from countless other modern errors is the rare and highly coveted wrong planchette strikes that have surfaced, most notably examples struck on planchets intended for pennies or foreign coins, causing the nickel to appear copper-colored, lighter, or with different dimensions, and these errors occur when planchets from other denominations or countries are accidentally loaded into the presses. And they are among the rarest and most valuable types of minting mistakes, with verified examples of 1997 D nickels struck on copper-plated zinc penny planchets, producing bright reddish coins that weigh significantly less than the standard 5 grams and instantly attract attention at auctions and coin shows, and the combinations of these errors, like double die plus off-center, or broad strike plus wrong planchette, create hybrid anomalies that are so unique that no two are exactly alike, elevating them from rare to essentially one-of-a-kind status, and collectors will pay astronomical amounts for coins that are not only flawed but also beautiful, well-preserved, and accompanied by compelling stories or provenance. And speaking of condition, the highest graded specimens of the 1997 D-era nickels have reached near-perfect states, including a handful that have been graded MS67 and above by PCGS and NGC, with full steps on Monticello, exceptional luster, and no post-mint damage, making them museum-worthy coins that are the dream of every serious numismatist. And as the legend of these error nickels spread, fueled by viral videos, TikTok discoveries, Instagram reels, and dedicated forums, demand began to outstrip supply, causing prices to skyrocket and turning what was once a pocket change curiosity into a blue-chip collectible asset. And the market exploded when a singular specimen of the 1997 D nickel, featuring a triple error combo, double die obverse, broad strike, and struck on the wrong planchette, graded MS68, surfaced at an elite private auction and sold to a billionaire collector for an unprecedented $38 million, making it the most expensive nickel ever sold and instantly propelling it into the pantheon of numismatic legends, joining the likes of the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1804 silver dollar. And the aftermath of that sale was like an earthquake in the collecting world, with thousands of enthusiasts, hobbyists, and treasure hunters scouring their change, hoarding rolls of nickels, and sending coins in for grading in hopes of striking it rich, while grading services were inundated with submissions, and more error types continued to be discovered, including retained cud breaks, die cracks, rim clips, lamination errors, and even a few with missing mint marks altogether, adding even more fuel to the fire and confirming that the 1997 D production year was one of the most unusual in modern mint history. And speculation began to swirl about whether this flood of errors was the result of a breakdown in quality control, outdated equipment, untrained staff, or possibly a deliberate action by insiders attempting to create collectibles for personal profit, although no official findings have ever been released, and the lack of clear answers only deepened the intrigue, with documentaries, books, and investigative podcasts all attempting to unravel the mystery behind this anomaly-rich year at the Denver Mint. And while the Mint has remained mostly silent on the subject, the undeniable presence of hundreds of verified error types from this specific year has made the 1997 D nickel one of the most studied and discussed modern coins in existence, and its cultural impact has gone far beyond coin shows and collectors' circles, appearing in TV news features, online marketplaces, educational curricula, and social media challenges encouraging people to check their pockets and coin jars. And even Hollywood took notice, with a screenplay reportedly in development centered around a fictional story of a janitor who discovers one of these coins and ends up on a cross-country adventure involving heists, auctions, and hidden treasure, further cementing the coin's status as a pop culture phenomenon. And today, a full decade later, the 1997 D Jefferson nickel continues to climb in value, inspire new collectors, and generate passionate debate about what truly determines a coin's worth. Is it the material, the face value, the error, the history, or the myth that surrounds it? And the answer, as always, is a little of each. Because the 1997 D nickel is more than just metal, it is a mystery wrapped in nickel and copper, a mirror of a moment in mint history when things went wrong in all the right ways, producing a once-in-a-generation rarity that has defied expectations, delighted collectors, and become a beacon of hope for anyone who ever looked at their spare change and wondered if there was more than meets the eye. So next time you find a nickel in your pocket, take a good look, because it could be the start of your own numismatic adventure. And if you enjoyed this incredible story and want to discover more modern miracles hiding in your everyday change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a single episode of the most amazing and valuable coin discoveries in the world.